What's up, Clint?
Hey man, all good? Hey, good to see you.
What's going on, buddy?
You mate, getting there?
Yeah. What?
Working through it? Yep.
Yeah. Good. 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 Yeah, I saw some of your texts. We'll get into all that.
Yeah, man.
I think they were good. They're good points, and I've been there, and a lot of people have been in the same spot. So you're
Oh
definitely
yeah.
not alone, in any of that. So how you doing, SD? Can't see you. You here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad you
That's
could
good.
join us tonight.
Thank you.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I checked your video out, George. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It was pretty interesting. You know what I mean? It's like when you go through this journey, as an
You're
entrepreneur.
frozen up there.
Can you hear me? No? You guys there?
Am now? Yep. All good.
Okay. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
it froze up probably for a good 20 odd seconds.
All right. Oh, still have to get on my stuff right. I don't know why. I got a hard line. I'm not connected on Wi-Fi or anything. Mine goes directly to the router. So, I don't know. I closed a few things out. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I was getting something a few minutes ago too. So hopefully it'll go well. I mean, we'll see. What are you going to do? It's technology,
Yeah, man. That's it.
double-edged sword, Yeah, so, but it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. I go in and the toy store, and it just kind of blew my mind. I didn't expect to do what they had planned, and they didn't either. They just had been reading stuff, doing research, and it was unbeknownst to me, these are a couple of old men that own this place. And and that's when everything just started falling into place. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it was, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So, yeah.
Awesome, man. No, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, they're buying into you, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
and then I'm really out there to help people as well, because I'm talking with a lot of mortgage brokers at the moment, and had a really good couple of conversations with them today. And
Did you?
I was with someone else who was kind of offering a service, and then I said, how can you, did an order on someone's account, and he said, well, I can't really improve that. And I was like, mate, he's come to us, he's got a problem. And so this guy's not good at what he does. And I put it out to some other guys I connect with. And they, yeah, we can do this, that, and that. And I'm like, man, you're my man. There's some just amazing providers out there, that really know their stuff. And I just want to be able to go with my hand on heart, not burn these guys and say, hey, can you give us $5,000? And we're like, oh, you have no idea if we can really improve this. It's not on. I just want to serve them, man, at the highest level and have them as long-term clients. That's my drive.
Good for you. Good for you. No, I mean, definitely has a lot to do with the mindset. I mean, you're right in the right mindset. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, that's how I, get what I get, and have been successful at doing all of this stuff. So, what's going on, Adam? I got David. We got Adam. Cool.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, buddy? So,
how's it going? Just got in.
Cool.
A lot better connection and internet tonight.
All right, good deal. Well, we'll see. What's up, David?
Yeah, how's it going, guys? My daughter's going to hang out with us for a little bit.
Hey.
Yeah. Look at that.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm like a baby magnet, but my wife is like, oh, we're done. Yeah, so.
Yeah, stay away from the babies.
Yeah. See, that's what she said. Like, we go to the grocery store or something, and, somebody will be holding a baby, and I'm behind them, and I'm sitting back there doing all this stuff. And the babies, they just magnetized by me. I don't know what it is. And my wife would be like, leave that baby alone. We're not having no more babies. We done raised all our babies. We're done. She's looking forward to having me all to herself and being retired and being able to travel, and, the whole dream thing. So it's cute. Cool. I don't know. Shane was supposed to be in here. I mean, a couple other people, but I mean, whatever. So, I mean, how'd everybody's day go? Anybody get anything done? Anything exciting? Not really. I know you had a birthday, right?
Mine's on this Sunday. We were just doing kind of like a little early celebration thing. We went and saw the searching movie earlier. That was kind of crazy.
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty trippy. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But nothing like your day, man. I saw your video. I'm sure that you're going to share that. But that was pretty exciting, man.
Yeah. We'll get into all that. I'll tell you guys about it. So it was interesting and pretty neat. Glad you guys got to see it. So
yeah.
Okay, so well, I mean, it's a little bit after 8. I know everybody's got different schedules, and it's just who's here. So they can watch a replay. I'm recording it, so I'll upload it and everything. Just so you know, I'm pretty sure I got all the bugs worked out over here. I went and got afterwards. What I found out last night was when I was scrambling around when I lost my Zoom connection because of the timer deal. I was logged into 2 different ones. So when we came back on, it just screwed everything up. So I didn't realize I had 2 different accounts. So long story short, I went and bought the package for the year, blah, blah, blah. So we shouldn't get any of that. It says I can have like 100 people in here and, I got the cloud and all this other crazy stuff. So we should be good.
Nice.
Awesome. I actually was at a Facebook event today. Facebook had a community event.
Tell us about that, David.
Yeah. So, Facebook was just doing what's called a Facebook community boost. And they come into different cities. They've been in Boston. They do Springfield. I'm in Massachusetts. Most of you guys are in Massachusetts, right?
Who?
You guys are in Mass?
No, I'm not. I'm in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Aaron's in Massachusetts.
Yeah, he's up in Boston, up with all the cars. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually lives in Attleboro.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but you're in Florida, it doesn't matter. But we had it was an awesome event. There was there's a couple thousand people. They just so I went to that, and also it's a lot like the Google events where they come in, they help out local businesses, they give a few classes, they give out some free swag, and you get a free lunch, and it was you get to network with people and see who's actually in the space. So I made a few connections, got to meet some people, and got to meet some of the people who are on the Facebook the small business team for Facebook. So that was pretty cool, and got some pretty sweet tips from them. So they definitely are very knowledgeable. But then I came home absolutely exhausted and just continued working. Got to do that hustle, right? So
yeah, story of my life. I mean, last night I was up real late. I don't know what time. My wife had to come in here. And because I've got a pretty sizable office, my bedroom's right on the other side. So I live in we got a 5-bedroom house, and now all the kids have grown up and they're gone. I have my 16-year-old son, and it's kind of a split house. He's got a whole other side to himself. I mean, literally with a kitchen, his buddies come over and they just have a party. I mean, so it's, so I can be in my office and nobody bothers me. I mean, so I'll stay in here all night. I mean, I'll getting down and doing websites and doing this and that. I mean, my list is like a mile long. So my wife has to come in here and wrangle me in and be like, you can't stay in there all night. You got to get some sleep. So it's
the same exact thing. I was working until midnight the other night. My wife comes in. She's like,
yeah.
It's dark outside, right? And I was like, I haven't seen light for days. I don't know.
Like a vampire. I know. And I mean, I think the takeaway from that, at least for me, is, really, really understanding, especially when you first get started, because you feel like you have so much stuff, so inundated with all of these tasks, and you have all these ideas, you have the, what do they call it, shiny object syndromes, and like I said, being inundated with so much information, and it's like, okay, is this good? Is that good? What do I focus on? Do I focus on this? Do I focus on that? Where do I put it? Because there's so much stuff going on. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Hold on, let me let Shane in. There you go. What's up, Shane? You there? Can you hear us? Testing 1, 2. Can you hear us? I don't know. So, can everybody else hear? Everybody else?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Shane,
okay.
If you can hear me, if you're doing it off of your phone, you have to swipe to the left and actually hit the audio button. Yep, now we can.
Now we can hear you.
I'm on my desktop.
Okay, there you go.
This is first.
What's up, Shane?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good stuff. I see Keita vaping it up over there.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm actually just quitting vaping. So
Yeah.
I do it every now and then, but it's better than smoking, right? So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to quit smoking. So
Yeah.
vape is the next step for me.
hey, do it up. I've been done smoking for like 3.5 years now.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually run a quarter mile. I'm a big man, so big man physics, just
Yeah. Yeah, I actually
But,
quit. I used to smoke the Black and Mild, the different apples and cherry cigars and stuff like that. And I quit that. Started just mildly doing some vaping, but pretty much quit it all. Early.
hey, at
So
weddings and funerals, a Black and Mild every now and then, something like that. But
Yeah.
hey, hopefully long and in between, right?
yeah, that's it. That's it. So well, cool, man. It looks like everybody had a good day. We got a bunch, a few of y'all in here. That's cool.
Quick question: Did we all introduce ourselves like last night?
Kind of did yesterday,
Yeah.
but look, I don't think we really heard from you. I think we got to everybody else, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
SD, did you?
No.
What is your name, SD? I keep calling you SD. I don't know if that's a nickname or
Serena.
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 Okay. Thank you, Serena. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're
But,
welcome.
yeah, David, go ahead and tell us your story. Tell us your story. Tell us, when, where, what, why, how, who, what,
All right, now that I'm on center stage, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you
All right.
go.
So my background. So I was actually the director of marketing for and public relations for Autism Behavioral Services. So I was in the education nonprofit space. I started marketing when I was in college, going through college with some smaller businesses, retailers, restaurants, and stuff like that. Just doing some small stuff. I actually started off doing remember the menu ads? They're still around every now and then, but how like the menus and all that stuff. Well, I was like, shit, I can do that 10 times better, right? So I went around, I made my own, and I went around and I started doing that, and I got a little bit of traction, but I failed horribly. I hired some friends from college, and they all wanted the paychecks, but they didn't want to work. I was going around. It was, don't get me wrong, we had a lot of fun, but the thing was that I went belly up. I read so many entrepreneurial books. I was a part of Entrepreneur Magazine, right? I was like really diving in, trying to like get as, awesome as I possibly could. And I was like, oh, I won't fail. I know exactly what's coming, and I failed in every single way that they said in completely different ways. So it was definitely a hardcore lesson. But I was actually going to school for business and psychology. I was a behavioral therapist, and I was working with BCBAs, with children with autism and high functioning adults and teens. So I was actually a program coordinator and then a program director. I created a program called the Leaders in Training Program because all the kids were, lit, right? Leaders in Training. The kids loved it. We all had a fun time.
Oh, that's cool.
But so I was actually promoting some of the projects and some of the things that we were doing for Autism Behavioral Services, and they approached me and they said, "Hey, we need somebody that's like on the back end to do this full time. Would you mind transitioning into that space?" And they were like, I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's great." And that was a few years ago. I was still doing some stuff on the side, just little projects here and there, but that was as things came organically. And then 2 years ago, Autism Behavioral Services went belly up. So there I was with just like a couple of projects in my hands, and then I was laid off. I was part of a 27-person layoff.
Oh,
About 6 months later, they went belly up about 6 to 8 months later, something like that.
Yeah.
But they started laying off people, and of course, marketing is the first thing to go. They wanted me to go back into the behavioral therapy space and help with the kids, but it was something where I had already worked so hard and built up the programs, and then found my replacements, trained them, got them into the space, and then built this entire infrastructure with different cityships and townships and all these different businesses. And I was just like I was like, oh well, I can do this on my own. Let's separate amicably, and it'll be fine. I'm not trying to make this a huge long story, but
no, it's all good.
So that was just about 2 years ago almost. And then I was like, oh, let me do this for myself. And not to lie, so I had dropped over 100 pounds doing ketosis. I don't know if you guys know what ketosis is, but
yeah.
at the time. So I used to be 408 pounds. Because I had sleep apnea. didn't do my CPAP machine. I had blown up to like 408 pounds. And then I finally got a CPAP machine. My life changed. And then I was like, oh, let's do keto and get back. Because I used to be a football player. I used to do martial arts and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. Let's get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So then I sprained, within a 3-month period, I sprained both my ankles and wound up bedridden.
Oh, wow.
So there I was, unemployed, collecting unemployment, eating cheese balls off the off the couch.
Right.
Looking for jobs, not really finding anything, trying to get a couple of projects going. I did a few small things for free, and the thing was that like I got a few different part-time jobs to kind of like make ends meet and stuff like that. But it was just absolutely crazy. And then in the past 6 months, I've really was like, I really got to get this shit going, because as you can see, 4 months ago, my daughter was born, and
4 months.
4 months.
Oh, wow.
In 3 days. 4 months and 3. Yeah, the time goes by.
Yeah.
And I was extremely motivated, but the thing is that for some reason I just wasn't able to convert any sales. I got a couple of projects, don't get me wrong, but the thing is that there was with my follow-up, there was nothing going on because they didn't have the budgets, right? And if they don't have the money, because also I was working primarily with nonprofits. So the unfortunate thing is when it comes to nonprofits, if they can't really see the value, or even if they just don't have the money, they want 20 pounds of shit for a $5 bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just it didn't work. Like I was doing all this work, and I'm kind of in that space right now where I have 2 people that I'm working with, and I'm doing a ton of work, but now like I'm getting a bitter taste in my mouth because I'm doing a ton of work less than what I'm actually worth. Right. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to expand into a different space. So I started trying to do financial advisors for the past month and a half, because I had a little bit of experience with that. And also it's a higher ticket. Right. And it hasn't really been working out. So I actually hired a coach, and he's not really working out, because I only I hear from him, but like he's not giving me really much direction, because there are things that, even though I have a lot of experience in certain spaces, this is a whole different animal. Yep. When you're working for yourself, trying to do sales, you have to have sales presentations. You have to have you have to dot your I's and cross your T's. So I haven't created that infrastructure yet. I've created small ones, but I need to expand upon that and get better. And that's kind of where we are with Aaron's group and also this group. And that's why, I saw your challenge and it's like 30 days to 40K, to 4K. I was like, shit, let's hop on this. Let's actually make something happen. So
yeah, good. And that's what this is all about. You brought up some good points about the foundation, and that's kind of, that's a perfect, I love your story. That kind of brings us to what we're going to get into tonight about that foundation. And I think, I'm a big proponent of that as a business owner. I've had a lot of different businesses. In the foundation, I do tend to spend, with this, it doesn't take a lot to do it, but with my other businesses, they were brick and mortars and stuff like that. So it took a lot longer to kind of build out the standard operating procedures and, the policies and the whole infrastructure. And this way it could run even when I wasn't there. So, that's like a big thing. You want to work on your business. You don't want to work in it. And I've heard a bunch of people say it, but it's the truth. You don't want to work, in your business. You can. Don't get me wrong. Some people, that's great. If you just want to be, that person, you want to go out and get a couple websites a week and, make $1,000, $2,000 and you're cool with that, cool. You can do that all day long. If that's all I wanted to do, that wouldn't be a problem. But your infrastructure and your foundation, just like with the house, if you don't have that right, then none of this works. It doesn't matter what I tell you, or if you pay Tony Robbins or Russell Brunson or whoever to coach you, all these, whatever guru you can name, the Dan Henrys, all of them, they could sell you courses to the blue in the face. But I think one of the biggest problems with a lot of that is they don't show you that foundation, that infrastructure, that exactly. You have to set that up. And I'm glad some of you guys are shaking your head. You're recognizing that.
Huge.
Yeah. What was you going to say?
Oh, I'm just saying that's huge, man. And it's so funny that you're just saying that, because it seems like that's a big part that I'm missing, just after you say it, because exactly, you chase all these shiny objects. But if you're right, if you don't have that infrastructure, foundation, processes, you're just out there kind of chasing your tail and everything. And
you're in a squirrel cage. You know, you're just
Yeah.
running. You know, you think you're running towards something, but you're not. You know, you're staying in one spot. You know, so yeah, I mean the foundation. So I guess let's jump in here. You know, I'm glad. I mean, we got everybody's here supposed to be here, so that's cool. I mean, you know, everybody showed up. So I mean, I got all my notes, so y'all see me looking down and stuff. You know, just try to be as thorough and give you guys. I'm just trying to dump my brain onto you guys, and then you guys can pick my brain. And how do you do this? How do you do that? I show you guys that I do this. That's obvious. You want me to jump into this, or do you guys want me to tell my quick little 2-minute story about what happened today? Does anybody care, or you good with the video, or y'all want to jump right into this?
2-minute story. Let's do it.
Okay, story.
I'd love to hear
Let's get it.
Okay, so I try to make it quick because I want to get you guys to our goal. So, but anyway, so today I woke up, got going, I had my list. So I was telling Shane about lists yesterday, and I like shredding my list. I like going down that thing, and sometimes I finish it, sometimes I don't. So typical day, I was feeling okay this morning, and then probably, then I got back to base camp. I was out running around talking to clients all day, and then I got home probably about 2 o'clock. So I got home, and I had some stuff to do on the toy store. I don't know if some of you guys know, I got, this client last week, the toy store where I bought my vet, blah, blah, blah. So I had him, and I had him all set up. And then so I came, and I was working on a proposal for him, giving him different options. And I'm going to show you guys everything I do as we go along. So I went and gave him all these different options, made sure my proposal looked good, went over it. It was like, okay, I told my wife, she went grocery shopping or something, and said, I'll be back in a little bit. So I go up there, walk in. These people roll out the red carpet for me. They had no idea what I was there for. It was not a scheduled meeting. I just showed up today. Showed up. No call, no nothing. It's just big, bold, and beautiful, okay? So I go there, and they saw me coming. And just the way this setup is, they see me pull up in my vet. And the owner opens up the door, big smile. We were just talking about you. And I'm like, okay, wow, what a welcome, and I had my proposal in my hand. It's like, I don't know, a few pages. And he's like, come on in, big guy. So we go in and we sit down. I'm talking to him and his main manager that's there, sales manager. And they started talking about all these things that they had been researching. I'm like, oh, wow. And these are old men. I mean, they weren't born with the internet. I mean, they're way older than all of us, So they started rambling off these acronyms, PPC and the Google AdWords. And I mean, to us, it's no big deal. But for me to listen to them, I'm like, wow, where did y'all learn all this from? Because the other day, last week, y'all had no idea about none of this stuff. And they were the first ones that admitted. So long story short, we started going over it. I started explaining each piece. And there's like 6 or 7 things that were on my proposal. So I started telling them, we have this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. And he went down it, and he was like, well, in your opinion, what do you think we should do? And I told him, I was honest. I said, well, we can start with this, and this. Here's a funnel right here that I want to build out for you guys. And, that's a set cost, and that's just a one-time deal. These are reoccurring, like SEO, Facebook ads, different things. And then the email marketing was in there, and those are like the monthly things. So he was like, okay. He simply just started adding it all up and said, okay, you know what? That's well within our advertising budget. Like, beautiful. Great. It's cool. There was one thing that we didn't add on there, and it was a PPC. Instead of doing the Google AdWords right now, we're going for more the SEO first because the website sucks. So we're going for the SEO. We're going to optimize all that. Then we're going to get traction on his social media, the Facebook and the Instagram. I got to straighten out all that stuff, start getting, some traction in there, start building some brand awareness. And then, of course, we'll bring everybody off the website, off of the funnel for whatever offers we're going to put. We're going to put those in the CRM with the email marketing, and then we'll be able to nurture that list and then build this long-term kind of this whole marketing package. So, and then we'll get to the PPC. So, and that'll be coming. So we get everything, and I'm sitting there, and he was like, well, you know what? I like you. I like you, George. I'm like, well, I like you too, Jim. I appreciate that. And he goes, all right, I tell you what. He goes, we're going to do it all. Absolutely. No problem. Sign right here. Open the contract up on the back. Made them sign. We made a bunch of scribble notes on here. Got everything solidified. Got it all signed.
Oh, snap.
That's amazing,
But yeah,
man.
So and he signed it. So we got to talking, and he was like, okay, he's looking at it. It's like $29.80 a month. So it's not peanuts. You know what I mean? I got to do some stuff for these people. So, he gave me a deposit, and that's generally what I do. I'll do a 50% deposit, give or take some, but most of the time I tell everybody, look, for me to start anything, and this has been not in just this business, but I do it in my camera stuff too. Anybody wants me to do anything, I don't start a job, I won't touch a job, period, without a deposit. I'm just not going to do it. So I don't know if some of you guys have a hard time with that or do or don't. I'm going to teach you how to get a deposit. Okay, so that's what all this is going to be. I want to make you guys strong. Do you think?
Are you talking about 50% of the whole, or are you talking about 50? Of like all the months? So let's say you do a 3-month contract. You're like,
no. The first month.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what I do is I start them on a 6-month contract, and so I do a 6-month contract, and they'll pay month to month, but I'm going to get half of it down up front today, like I did. I give myself 2 or 3 weeks. If it happens faster, that's fine. Nobody's going to complain. So I give myself 2 or 3 weeks, and then I get the other half of the deposit, the balance, and that's when everything gets fired off and started. The reason I do this is because a big thing that you guys want to learn and realize and do is understand that you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Okay? You want to overdeliver and underpromise. You want to do the opposite, So if you tell them it's going to take 2 weeks, it only takes you a week, guess what? Nobody's going to complain. That's like if I tell you it's going to cost you $3,000, only cost you $2,000, you're not going to complain. So you do these things. All these little things add up and they count. And so we signed a contract. He was fine with that. Everything, stroked me a check, boom. No big deal. Sat there and laughed. And when I get, these checks that are, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever they are, I don't jump up and down and get excited. I don't run right out the door. That kind of sends a little psychological message that that's all you were there for. So kind of stick around. You know what I mean? Be cordial with them. These are people and he kept saying this the whole time, that they want this to be a long-term thing, which is exactly the mindset that you want your clients in. So by sitting there and, interacting with them, engaging with them, finding out what their goals are, I asked them all these questions like, where are you guys at right now? Okay, cool. This is where you're at right now. Where do you want to be? Okay, you want to be there. Okay, what have you tried to get there? Yes, no, nothing, something, whatever, and kind of go off of those. So these are kind of the path that I lead them down. And then, I ask them, if we could do X, Y, Z, would that be cool? If we can do this, would that be good for you? You know what I mean? If we could generate this many leads, or if we can move this many units this month, or this much extra, if ROI went up 10% or 15%. What I'm doing is I'm asking them all these yes questions. Okay, so I know that they're not going to say no. And I'm not trying to do anything bad. I'm trying to get them so they can envision and understand what I understand, what we understand, what you guys understand about this whole marketing world. Now, remember, these people that we're going after don't know anything about this stuff. Even with all the research and stuff, they can spit words out and stuff like that, but it really doesn't matter. They don't understand all the back end. And if you guys have been in this any period of time, which it seems like everybody here has, you guys all know that. I'm sure you agree with me. You know what I mean? You've been into marketing and whatnot, so all this, going to Facebook groups and conventions. I mean, you have to have your heart into it to spend your day doing that, So, I mean, that's great. So I led them down that path. And then, basically we got to the point where, he knows I'm a Corvette guy. I've already had 4 of them. And the conversation went to, well, which one do you want out there? I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, have another vet. And I was kind of laughed at him, and he was like, no, I mean, I know you like yours, but I've got the 2017 that you were eyeballing. I'm like, oh, you mean the Z06? He goes, yeah. I'm like, and I don't know if you guys are gearheads or whatever. I am, but those are like $70,000, $80,000 cars. Okay.
I watch Top Gear.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Top Gear. Love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Love it. So yeah, there's $70,000, $80,000 cars when they're new. You know what I mean? And the new ZR1 is like 120, 130 grand. So he offered me one of the Z06s, and he was like, one of those, he said, is probably about $1,000 a month to buy it. You know, that's about, if you finance it, you're going to spend about $1,000, $1,200 a month. And my bill's like almost $2,900. So he basically told me that I can go pick anything out there, take $1,000 off the bill, and drive it home. So I appreciate that. So it was, that was kind of just out of the blue.
Dude,
Just
that's
kinda
amazing.
Go ahead, Shane.
Did you drive it home today or what?
No. You know, I've had a few of those cars, and I will take them up on the offer. But quite honestly, that's not what I was there for. You know what I mean? It's cool. I just want to show you guys the opportunities, and this is not a first for me. You know, another story you can ask me later. I don't want to digress, but I actually got another Corvette with a business deal that I bought it out too. And it was like mine. There was a Z06. It was a monster machine. You know, it was a 04 C6, C5. But that's a whole nother story. But I actually acquired that doing the same kind of technique. I kind of bartered it out. So it worked out good. My wife was shocked. I mean, that story quickly, I came home at about 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night with a car that was a monster that woke up the whole neighborhood.
That's awesome.
I mean, she was wondering because I left at like 11 or 12 to go pick the car up. She didn't know it. And so I left at 11 or 12 and then come home about 3 o'clock. And yeah, 3 o'clock in my neighborhood was pretty quiet. So it woke the whole neighborhood up. So, but yeah, so I got that again. I came home, told my wife, and she goes, I will shoot you if there's another Corvette sitting in our driveway. I was like, maybe. I mean, look at it. So I took pictures and everything of it. He's actually got a purple one up there, 2017 Z06, and I'd rather have the red one. So anyway, so my plan.
Hey, George, can you take us all for a drive next time when you're in it?
yeah,
Yeah.
actually I will. I can.
Put us on Zoom.
Yeah,
We'll jump in with you.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat, and I did tell the wife, and you know, told her what he offered me, and probably after the holidays, because I got a lot. I mean, I was explaining to Shane last night. We kind of stayed on Zoom for a little while afterwards, and I have a lot of things planned out over the next few months, which is a huge, huge deal. You know, being organized, being systematic with all these things. Any of these leaders, any of these guys out there that you see that are crushing it, you know, whatever you want to call it, trust me, they're organized, or they have somebody that's organized with them. They know when, where, what they're doing at every given point in time. To me, that's a critical skill. It's not hard to attain. There's so many tools out there. The only thing that will keep you from doing that is being lazy. And some people are lazy. You know what I mean? So it's just, you got to get past that. I mean, that's just part of it. There's going to be nobody here to kick you in the tail saying that you got to get up this morning and go out and produce. You got to get up this morning and go out and meet some people and talk to some people. So, yeah, that story after the first of the year, my guy Jim, owner of the Corvette, the toy store, he told me, look, that offer's open. As long as we're working together, he goes, I want this to be years and years and years. I'm giving you everything, my whole digital assets, my social media, whatever you called it. You know, he liked that idea. So he's giving me all that. He goes, you can pick any car you want at any time. We'll take your vet, we'll sell it, and then, you know, we'll just move on. So, you know, it was pretty neat.
This is a toy store?
Yeah, it's called the Toy Store.
Oh, the toy store.
The Toy Store, yeah. So they sell nothing but Corvettes, like high-end Corvettes and, you know, toys. You know, they've had Ferraris in there, stuff like that, mainly Corvettes.
Oh, sweet.
But I've been in there, and I bought 3 of them from this guy, you know, from the years past. So probably after the first, I probably will trade this and then go ahead and get a new one. I've been wanting one for a little while. I got a passion for the old ones because I've had a couple of them. So it wasn't about whether it was new or old for me. You know, I was looking at all the newer C7, you know, for those of you who do know the C7s. And I just like the older body style. They only made that body style like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And so I got it specifically for that reason. So, but anyway, so yeah, after the first, I'll show it off. I'll take you guys for a ride in it, whatever. So, yeah, so that's that little story. Oh, on top of that, the other thing he has one little office, another little office in there. he actually offered that office to me. And that was something else that also blew my mind. He goes, hey, what about that office over here? I'm like, okay, what about it? He was like, that's your office. When you want to come up here and work on our social media, and you want to get pictures and videos, and that's all yours. Paul, set him up with anything he needs over there.
Oh, wow.
I was blown away. Right. I was just like, I mean, the Corvette was cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a wash. You guys know, I'm taking money out. So,
Yeah.
But still, that part really, really touched me. So the owner left and went out and had to go talk to somebody. And the manager there, he got to say, and he was like, he said, since you've been coming in here, he goes, Jim's really taken to you. I'm like, wow. He goes, you're a good guy, man. You're a good guy. He goes, he really, really likes you. So that it tells me again and again, reiterates that, those relationships are what gets him. I didn't even have to ask for a check. I didn't. Once I showed him all this, he was just like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. How much do you need? What is this? Okay. I said, let's just do half down, and then, the other half when we launch everything. Okay, write him a check. Blah, blah, blah. Blase, like it was no big deal. You know what I mean? A little $3,000 deal. But that's $3,000 a month. They act like it was nothing. So you kind of go along with that. Inside, you're excited, you're happy. And I tell you what, I've closed a lot of deals in my life. A lot of big deals. I mean, for me, I've had $50, $60, $80, $100,000 checks in my hand. Okay, I've closed them. I still get excited about even these somewhat smaller jobs, because right now I'm on a journey, I'm on a mission, and I love that. I get so excited. Some of you guys see my live earlier. The past, I don't know what it is, but the past few weeks, and I'm just sharing right now, I hope you guys don't mind, but it's been awesome. Really, really cool. I've been helping so many people, through my Facebook and stuff like that. I get a lot of people reach out to me. And I've just been giving. And I don't want anything back. That's not what all this is about. I do have the time. I am blessed to be able to have the light that I got. And I generally like helping people. You know what I mean? I've been approached and on some people that are on, everybody's on different levels, and wanted me to do like personal one-on-one coaching. And the only time that I will do that is I would only take on a couple people that I could do it correctly for, and really, really work with them like day in and day out, like not once a week, once a month or anything. To me, that's not a real coach. I've had mentors and coaches in the past and have paid them, years and years ago. And I've had some good ones, and I've had some that, were so-so. But the good ones actually did far outweigh the bad ones. So it did give me a lot of the skill sets and a lot of the mindset that I needed, and the tools to be able to go through these thresholds, through these barriers, and get to these other levels. And, it's gotten me to, where I'm at, to be able to keep doing this and just, now it's just part of me. I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. There's no other question. I mean, I've had people offer me $100,000 a year jobs, and I've turned them down. There wasn't even a question. There wasn't a thought. And my wife was like, she would look at me, and she knows what I make. And honestly, I make a lot more than that. But she was like, that is so cool. That's, she gets off and thinks it's cool and flattering that, somebody would do that. And, that you're in a position we're in. But, has nothing to do with luck. That being said, another thing I kind of wrote down that I like this little reference, and I've talked to people about this, is what you guys are doing right now, especially starting out or whatever level you're at, and chasing success. And I call it chasing success. And that could be a real killer. I know people say chase your dreams, chase success. You don't want to have that mindset. In my mind, you don't want to have that mindset. When you're chasing things, period, the universe just seems to be able to speed up. Like, you ever got to where, and I've been in these positions plenty of times, where say you don't have money or something like that, where you're all stressed, and it seems like it only gets worse and worse and worse. And it's like, because you're doing everything in your power to try to grab this money. You're focused on it. You're stressing on it. You got anxiety. I mean, I've been there, brother. I mean, there's been a time in my life where I was sleeping in a car. I mean, I didn't have anybody around me. So, I mean, it sucked. But when you're doing that, you're chasing it. Universe has a way to run away from you. And you don't want to do that. So I don't want you guys to be in that mindset. And, you know, you got to do this stuff and with an open mind. Your mindset has to be open. What will be. And I know that might sound like some hooey, but it is the truth. If you go with that flow and you just go with it, it's like the analogy that I put, and my wife loves this. It was like, okay, people are chasing success. Okay. So you put this goal out there. You want to, you know, I want to be a millionaire. Okay. Or I want $1 million, or I want that Ferrari or that vet or that car or whatever. You're putting all that out there. With an entrepreneur, when you put these goals out there, that's fine. You want to have these goals. I'm not saying that. But it's kind of like a song or a movie. And this is the best analogy I can think of. When your favorite song comes on the radio, and it comes on, you know, everybody, you crank it up, right? You know, you're in the car, you're chilling, you're driving down, you know, I got to crank mine up. My car's loud. It's, you know, I crank it up and I'm listening to my favorite songs, and you're singing along with it. Well, when that song comes on, is the first thing in your mind, I can't wait to the end of the song.
No.
Who does that? Nobody does. When you go to the movie and you want to see a good movie, you're not sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, I can't wait to the end of this movie. What are you doing? You're enjoying the movie or the song as it's playing out, as it's going along. That's what life is. That's what being an entrepreneur is. It's about the journey. It's about the in-between. It's not, you know, you keep chasing, thinking that there's going to be something at the end. And then you keep chasing, and you never get it. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I never got there. Meanwhile, the whole time, you were in those moments. Every day, you were building up to this. You were going along to that. So don't look for the end of the song. Don't think that there's something at the end of this mystical rainbow that you're going to get to when you're 65 or 70 or 55 or 35 or whatever. That's not there. You need to just focus on right now, today, the moment. Yesterday's gone. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to preach, but these things are real. And I want you guys to get in that mindset. At least that's what works for me. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's different. And you guys will take away what you want to take away from this. But yeah, so it's that whole mindset, you know, for, you know, getting to that success. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of this does have to do with mindset. I think a lot of people have blocks. You know, they've got mental blocks. Go ahead, Shane. Hold on, Shane. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Good now, right?
Okay, there you go.
I was gonna say, George, I know you're really big on mindset, and even the first time we ever connected, you drove that home to me, and I understood that. And I've always been a big person, a big believer. If I don't have the right mindset, then I'm not capable of achieving anything that I want to achieve. My big question for you is because we're all human. I mean, we don't all wake up feeling like $1 million. What do you do, or at least what helps you, get yourself out of that? Oh, today I feel crummy. How do I still make sure that I hit my goals and go after what I'm here to go after?
Good question. Well, for that right there, I mean, I do a few things in my daily rituals, my daily life.
Yeah.
One of those things is I meditate.
Okay.
And, you know, it's nothing new. This is nothing, you know, it's very old. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's been around for a long time. I kind of got into that. Me and my wife started researching things quite a while ago, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. So we started researching things, and you kind of go down this rabbit hole. So I've got a lot of knowledge up here about, you know, mindset, psychology, meditations, and affirmations. I went down that rabbit hole. I went real deep down a rabbit hole, and you know, I take everything for what it's worth, and then I use it to make my life better for me. So I'll take bits and pieces from this and that, and this is George. You know what I mean? Like you're Shane. And in the mornings, the same thing. When I get up, you know, I'll do, you know, maybe a 5 to 10 minute. I don't really do the long 30-minute ones in the morning before I go out, to be honest with you. At night, I do like that. There's a lady, one of the first ones that I listened to that I got addicted to, just in case you guys want to know, write it down. Her name was Kelly Howell. Kelly Howell.
Yeah.
Okay, you know him, David?
Yeah.
Okay, so she has something called the Universal Mind. And I have a pair of headphones, and I've got this cheap little pink MP3 player that I think I bought my kids freaking 10 years ago or something, right? As a stocking stuff, right? As an MP3 player until they got old enough to know what a damn iPod and everything was. And then, heck broke loose, So then I couldn't go buy them little $10, $15 MP3 players and just give them to them. So I got one of those. It's been in there for years. And I tell you what, I don't know what it is, but I think I got a fluke because this little pink thing, and I'll show it to you one day. The little handles broke off, but I've got probably 100 meditations on there. And I tell you what, I charge this thing once every 6 months or something. The thing don't die. I'm like, what kind of battery did I got in this thing? And how come nobody else can do it? Because I don't know about you, my cell phone dies all the time. I mean, my mother-in-law, she uses little radios and she needs batteries every other week. I'm like, you're going to drive me in the poorhouse. I need to invest in some stock and some batteries or something. So,
Duracell.
Yeah, right. So, so I do that at nighttime. I'll put them on, and I call this clearing the cache, clearing the temp memory. Okay, it's a computer term, but it's the truth. You guys, we are so inundated now from when I was a kid, and I'm 45. So when I was a kid, there was no internet. There was none of that. I remember the rotary phone when you sit there, all this stuff. But we are so inundated with social media, with the internet, our phones. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I don't even get me started on that. I mean, it's a necessary evil, right?
Right.
Like I'm on mine all the time. I mean, and that's another thing. You got to learn to balance a lot of this stuff. So definitely like some of us that, are married or have girlfriends or wives, you got to learn how to balance a lot of that, especially being an entrepreneur. My wife has to pull me back sometimes. So yeah, the meditation, I do that at night, a good 30 minutes. I call that's my time to kind of wipe everything out that was there during the day. And when I started doing that, I felt so much better when I would wake up in the morning, a lot more refreshed. I would have a better sleep, blah, blah, blah. You get up in the morning and, I spend 5 or 10 minutes and put something else on and just sit there and do that. And then when I come out of that, I'm good to go. I go in there, brush my teeth, do my hair, blah, 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 shave, whatever I got to do. I get my list and I move on. Another good little trick, and you guys probably heard this, but while you're on the subject and you're in a bad mood, take a couple minutes for yourself. That's all you got to do. You are in control of your reality. If you think that you're going to go out today, and I've heard people say this before, it's like, oh man, it's going to be a crappy day. This is going to suck. Well, guess what? You just told everything around you, every vibration, every energy, the whole universe, I don't care what you believe, I believe it because I've seen it, and it's happened to me a billion times. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a crappy day.
Yep.
Okay? Do this. Go around for a day and smile at everybody all day. I mean, intentionally. Go around and smile. Nobody's going to be mad at you, and your attitude is going to come across in that the whole day. And that's another thing I try to do. I try when I'm out with my customers and my clients, I'm always smiling at them. I'm always, and my wife is like, she goes, yeah, but you have an unfair advantage. She goes, your eyes. And I know my eyes, everybody talks about my eyes all the time. They're like, people look at you and they get hypnotized. She goes, and then you got to throw that damn smile in there. They don't have no choice. She goes, but that's why I married you. So, yeah, so she picks my meal about it. So yeah, I mean that mindset, meditation, getting yourself in the right space, and then just being cognizant of that. If you do that enough, it just becomes natural and just becomes part of what you're doing every day. I don't think about it anymore. I come home and I do these things, and then switch it up. You know what I mean? Find other things. That's just what works for me. It's not going to work for all of you guys. You know what I mean? Some of you it will, some of you it won't. Maybe your thing is maybe read the Bible. If that's your thing, you know what I mean? Or whatever, or pray. I mean, it's the same thing. You're putting intention behind this focus. And when you put intention behind something, it's so much more powerful, especially if you got good intentions. You got bad intentions, like you want to go out and rob somebody. Well, we see how that works out. You know what I mean? You're just going to go to jail. They're going to pull your card. That's just stupid. So those things never work out for anybody. So positivity, good intentions, I mean, they go a long way. And if you want to go out and sell stuff, that's going to be a big part. I mean, I'm just telling you. You know what I mean? Because these people, you got to understand too, and we all do, you should, that they are being inundated, and we're not the only ones that have approached them. Not now. This is not new. I mean, yeah, David's laughing. It's not new. I've been around this space for a long, long time, way before Facebook and MySpace and all that stuff. So they've been hit before. There's probably not too many businesses that I can go, at least in my town. It's like, has anybody ever approached you to do some social media marketing? Yeah, of course. Like every week, talk to a dentist. He's probably 10 times a day.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys.
What's up?
Stay the fuck away from chiropractors. Stop it. Just
yeah, quick.
Dude, I just talked to. So I went to at the Facebook community thing. I actually met a chiropractor. He was so he's actually moving out of the space. He invented some sort of little machine thing to help with extending your spine without having to do an inversion table. It was cool. Like we were just chit chatting. But I was sitting next to him and I was like, because usually I was like, so let's start off with the usual questions. What do you do? Right? And he's like, oh, I'm a chiropractor. And it was just it was right. Fun. I looked at him and it was just like, oh shit. I was like, I'm sorry to say it, I'm an internet marketer. He laughed and I asked him, I was like, how many times a day do you get hit up? And he's like, you wouldn't believe. He's like, you don't even believe every single guru out there, or makeshift guru. Oh, chiropractors are easy. I feel bad for those bastards. Like seriously.
I know. I've heard them stories too. Yeah, it's crazy. Them and dentists too. Mine was kind of a fluke. I was lucky, got him. So that was I wasn't expecting that. When I got the dentist line, I'm like, I wasn't looking for a dentist, but it kind of fell in my lap. What were you saying, Shane? Were you trying to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, unless they're in your warm network, then by all means, go kill them.
That's totally valid. That's totally valid. But,
absolutely. I mean, the first thing that you guys should be looking at anyways is looking at your inner circle. Like, who you do know. And, go knock on their door. It's like, I've known you for how long? Of course I'm going to approach you about this. You know what I mean? What are they going to say? No? Okay, you already got a guy. Cool. But it still start there. You know what I mean? At least do that. All right, so cool. So what should we start with? All right, so we got a lot of that out the way. Okay, and then another thing. You said something about the chiropractor. I want to talk about a niche. How many of you guys have heard and people have told you, and what is your take on you have to have a niche? You have to have a niche.
I've been told that because of scalability wise, but I realize it's like, dude, I only need 5 clients. I don't care if I have to figure out a solution that works for them. So,
okay. What about the rest of you, David? Anything?
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying to niche down, and I think that might work for some people if you have a definitive hold in that space. Like if you used to work with financial advisors, something like that, and you really know that space, absolutely. If you really know lawyers, fantastic. That's awesome.
There you go.
Other than that, diversify. I mean, social media and Facebook advertisement isn't really, it's not that crazy hard. Don't get me wrong, getting results can takes time to figure it out. But if you know the formula and how to make things work, you can add up to anybody, like a cafe or, a restaurant, Bill's Tacos. And then you have Jack's Dentist down the street. That it's all relative,
Yeah. Well, Facebook, and that's a very, very good point. As far as that goes, what we're doing and how we are going to utilize Facebook and their advertising algorithms for who we're targeting for the most part. And I can kind of generalize this because for most of us, it's going to be in more geographical area that we're using Facebook for. So it's not like I'm trying to find a little pond like they tell you. You got to find where those groups are, where those people are at that want to buy this pen or, this cup, with a cat on it or whatever. So That's when it starts getting very complex, very hard, where you got to know all your click-through rates and your conversions and what kind of ads and your split testing. And you know what I mean? You're doing all this A/B testing, and you got different ad sets, different campaigns, and different targeting. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Well, with ours, like David said, a good point, Facebook is extremely smart, especially now. Are you kidding me? They know everything about anybody. I mean, they could probably put a profile together better than the FBI can now. I mean, that's true. You know what I mean? They probably could. It's probably where the FBI's getting them from. They go to Zuckerberg. Hey, what is this guy George about? Yeah, well, he likes this and this, and whatever. I mean, they could.
You jest, but it's creepy now. They track all you. How do you think that when you make a lookalike audience? When you make a lookalike audience, they're tracking all of the behaviors of those people, so they're looking at the behaviors of similar tactics of what you're actually going after. It's freaky, but it's the best thing for it's the best thing for business.
Yeah,
right. There's a lot of double-edged swords in this world. You know what I mean? There's that thing. So when I started,
Senator, we do ads.
Yeah. When I started learning all this stuff, and then, like I said, I learned things pretty daggone quick. And I started going to my wife and telling her these certain things, and I've went through Amazon FBA and print on demand and drop shipping and Shopify's and e-com and email marketing. I mean, you name it, I went through all that stuff. And I started, learning Facebook ads and, the retargeting and lookalike audiences and, you're doing all these ad sets and split campaigns and da-da-da. And I was telling her when I was doing like my research for people and doing some ads and then going in these interests and how you could so hyper target and just hyper niche these things out. And what do they call it? Like flex targeting, you know what I mean? Where you put this and then put this and then you want that little area in the middle. And I told my wife, I'm like, this is nuts. And I know they've taken so much of that out of there now, but I mean, you could find people that made $100,000 a year, had two kids, had half a cat, had a house in Jamaica. I mean, you could really target these people.
Sorry, mosquito.
And I hate them things. They love me. But it was scary, just thinking about that. But now for what we're doing, it's not that hard because your client, say it's a restaurant or something like that. Well, guess what? You're just going to tell Facebook, hey, anybody that's in this area right here, come over here. Because they're probably looking for a piece of pizza or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You can use that because most of these are going to be local clients, at least what I'm doing. You know what I mean? What you guys are doing too, which is great because I like it because not everybody and a brother is going out doing the model that we're doing. Like David said, there's a lot of people hitting chiropractors and stuff up. But that's more for social media marketing management. I know we get into that for the recurring, which you have to, but I think the biggest advantage we have is being able to offer them a website, a funnel, a bot to kind of get your foot in the door, and the other stuff kind of just falls in its lap, and that's when you got it. It's like, okay, boom, there we go. So you want to focus on that. That should be your first focus on, what are my strengths in getting in the door? And your money's not going to be made up front. Like, the deposits and stuff that I get, no, that's cool. That'll pay some bills and electrics and the mortgage and the car payment, whatever. But it's getting to that goal of this monthly recurring revenue. That's where real money's at. Okay. So really get your mindset around that's your end goal. The money up front, it's great. But I wouldn't dwell too much on that, thinking that you have to go out and charge $2,000-$3,000 and be this rock star for this website. I don't care. If it's one I could bang out in a few hours, even a day, and I get $500 for it, cool. I'm not going to turn it down. I'm going to go get it because then I want the rest behind it. Even if he's just another client that I can only get for $500, $600, $700 a month. Okay, he's a smaller client in this world, anyways. And that might be a lot. But say it was 500, 600, 700. Just use 500. If you only had 10 of those, you concentrate on 2.5 of those a week, it's $5,000. And you only have to deal with 10 people. And that's just the money that you got up front. you've made $5,000 from those people up front, and you're also getting $5,000 a month to maintain things that you're perfectly capable of doing, because they don't have to be on this expert level of some Facebook ads guru, this fake Facebook ads agency. You don't have to be one of those guys that's looking for the chiropractors and, he wants something specific and blah, blah, blah. So, just keep that in mind, especially when you're looking at all the hype and everything on there. And, I wasn't doing it for any other reasons, just to kind of, push you guys, you know what I mean? And show you, like, every day, this is exactly what I'm doing too. And, it does work by doing all this. So yeah, I mean, that should be your foot in the door, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And then have that mindset that you're doing all this to generate and to build this long-term relationship and this. And I think a lot of that, it does have to be in your mindset, because if you go in there with anything other than that, then I think it's going to mess your sale up. It's going to mess your close up, because they're going to smell that a mile away. People people can smell a car salesman. It's a dirty word now. Everybody's, oh, you're a car salesman, or you're a lawyer. So whatever. But we do sense that, and people pick up on those things. I don't care if you believe in Buddha or you're religious or whatever. It doesn't matter. You feel it. You have those instincts. We all have it. I mean, I don't know too many people can't say, well, man, he just gave me this weird feeling, this weird vibe. You know what I mean? Or if somebody, John the pedophile walked in the room and everybody knew he was a pedophile, but he didn't know everybody knew, then the whole vibration of the room, they were in here partying, laughing, and joking and everything. And then all of a sudden, here comes John, and he's like, where's John? Where's John? Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole vibration changes. So your vibration and your energy level is going to have a big part on how your conversations go, whether you're in a discovery meeting or you're in negotiations or you're trying to close, that deal out. So you want to make sure that you're in that right space, whether you do have to go sit outside and get your mind right, on the way to the close and stuff like that, get your mind right. I see it. I visualize it. When I'm on the way, I think about it. I sit at home 15 minutes, sit here and look at my notes and go over this one I'm offering, this one I'm offering, this one I'm offering. And I visualize and see myself closing that. And I just see the end results. I don't look at everything in between. I do, for that part, I do see what I want to happen. And it generally happens. It just does. I'm just telling you, it works. I'm not a magician. I'm not I'm not Grant Cardone. I don't even know what that means, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? You guys understand. They're no different than any of us. That's what I'm saying. We just have to learn to get past certain points. You guys need to learn to get very comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right.
Okay. You know what I mean? It's been said before, but when you're an entrepreneur and you're going over to that edge, it's where everybody else doesn't want to go. So everybody's over here and they're all huddled up and they're finding their little lives and they have their job and they got their 9 to 5, they have their security. And then over here is a line that is drawn and nobody can see beyond that. That's an entrepreneur. You don't know what's beyond that per se. And you just have to be willing to go from here and leave this flock of sheep and venture out over here and look at it. You have to be comfortable doing that. And sometimes it's uncomfortable. But I tell you what, when you do get over here to this, it's the most beautiful, blissful thing you'll ever experience. Like I said, I still get excited. No matter what kind of check I get, it doesn't matter. I still get excited. I still get excited when I meet a new client, when I build these relationships. And these guys are with me for years and years and years. I mean, I've got relationships, since I've been remarried, damn near as long as I've been remarried, 15 years almost. So it's, it definitely works. Okay, so let's see. I got some more notes here. Okay, so foundation. How many of you guys who has their foundation set up or understands what that is right now for your business right now? In other words, when I say foundation, this is how I'm going to quantify that so you understand. Your foundation is this. One, you have a business name, you have a business checking account, you've got an accountant, you've got business cards, you've got a website, you've got your emails, you've got a proposal system set in place, you've got invoices set in place, you have all of these pieces. And I'm just throwing this all out there because honestly, I'm not looking for a yes answer. I'm thinking the answer is probably no, but whatever. I'm not, it is what it is. That's why we're here, and that's what I'm here for. So I just want to know. Is somebody trying to chat?
What?
Oh, Sue. Okay, Sue's. Okay, Sue. No, something came up in the chat. Okay, Sue.
Yeah, it's just me. It's getting late.
Okay.
Yeah, it's after 9. I've been neglecting my my kids for the last couple of days, so I gotta go help her a little bit.
Okay, Sue.
All right, so we'll catch up with you soon. I'll keep up with the chat.
We'll keep you updated.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye.
So the foundation. How many of you guys have the foundation? Anybody just say I got it, or I don't, or I need help with this, or whatever, and then we can kind of go from there. I just need yes or no's. If we got the majority says no, then that's good.
No.
I don't.
I'm like halfway there.
Okay, Adam. Okay, David.
No, that's a no.
Shane.
Negative.
I have a bank account. I have a name, but I'm not too solid on it. I'm overthinking it.
Okay.
I have a name and a bank account, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm in the same boat. Like I don't have my website set up yet,
Okay.
even though I'm in Instantanto. So
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Look, there's no
Yeah,
wrong
me too.
answer. That's cool. That's cool. Look, I'm not on a time limit. I mean, somebody's got to go and this and that. And if this takes more than, a few weeks or something like that, I don't care, guys. Okay. I'm just to let you guys know, I'm not just going to be like, hey, in 4 weeks, boom, I'm out of here. I'm going to go make some more money. You know what I mean? I need to make about 20 grand this month. I don't know what y'all doing. I'm not going to do that. I really, really want to see you guys, be able to get to some of these goals. And if I can help you, I mean, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Clint, what about
I
you?
can tell, man.
Clint?
Clint.
You
No,
here?
I haven't. I've still got
Okay.
no. The easy answer is no. Yeah.
Okay. Quita?
No.
No?
Yeah, I have a business name,
Okay.
but I haven't
Is it registered?
it's not registered.
Okay. Okay.
I have an idea. Yeah.
Sunita?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. How about you? Yeah. What do you got?
I have most of it. Of all the things you mentioned, the things I don't have are business cards and a dedicated account.
Okay. So do you have a business name now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it registered where you're at?
Yes.
Okay. 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 So, I mean, I think that's everybody in here right now.
yeah, I'm just working with the DBA until I get enough money to go for an LLC.
Okay.
That's
No problem.
and then,
A DBA is fine. A DBA is fine. So I think that's another part that you guys should kind of focus on, in the beginning now, because that's a big part. If somebody needs some help, definitely going into Tonto and if you need some help with a website or something like that, I'm sure there's other people in there that, would have a little bit more time than I could. I would offer that, but I'm just, real pressed for time. But the main thing is just making sure you guys look into, whoever hasn't done this would be do just what David has. Get your DBA. You should be able to go to your local or your statewide, usually it's a .gov or .biz website, and should be able to register a DBA. All that is doing business as. That's all that means. So you're doing business as your name or whatever name you want to put in there. Then you could take that and you could go down to the bank and you could start a bank account. Now you're legit, okay? Now the step after that would, of course, be to reach out, look around, find you somebody that's a bookkeeper or an accountant, okay? That might not be a bad niche. You could maybe do what I do. I try to barter and hustle everything I can. So if the funds are low, I'm going to go in there and try to talk to them. And if I can help them or do something for them, then I'm going to trade something out. It could be a website. It could be a bot. They could need a funnel. They need lead generation. You can't tell me an accountant doesn't need, especially right now. It's coming towards the end of the year. People like me that have corporations, I do my taxes now. Like mine just got done in September. I don't have to do mine in April because mine was an S corp, and there's a whole lot. It's a whole lot different than like in, you know what I mean? There's C corps and S corps and LLCs, and so mine was an S corp, incorporated. So I get all different kinds of tax stuff. So I got to file the corporate stuff. I got to file personal. Well, most business owners, they'll push that off until the end of the year. And that's what I do. Everybody does. So I'm not going to pay in April. Why am I going to do that? It's dumb. I can spend all year and use my money and sit there and flip it every month. I'm not giving it to them. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. You get paid first. So one thing that I've learned in wealth building is you definitely want to find a way to pay yourself first. If you let the government take everything out, you're never probably going to get to where you want to get to. It's very, very hard because taxes and FICAs and Social Security and all those other stuff. So you put that off. So you got to have your business account, checking account, your business name, and then have your accountant. Find somebody that can do your business. That's going to be the biggest part. And then find something like QuickBooks, to be able to do all your invoices and stuff like that. And then also something for proposals. I use something called PandaDoc. I don't know if you guys know of that one. There's another one called Proposify. I think Aaron said something about that one, or somebody in another group. So PandaDoc and Proposify. Those two have been working out real good.
PandaDoc has some pretty good graphics.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. I mean, that's what these are done in right here. So it's pretty neat. It's definitely pretty neat. And it's worked out. It's all I need. So don't try to overcomplicate a lot of this. It doesn't need to be that way because most of these people that we're dealing with, they're not technical. They're not complicated. So don't try to overthink it. And I think that's another thing that is another block for people. They want everything perfect. You don't have to get all this perfect. And you don't have to know all the answers right now. We can start with the little stuff. Like David said, get a DBA. You just want a DBA and get a checking account open up. Scrounge $100 up, get a checking account open up, attach to the DBA. Because then when these people want to go to writing you a check, it looks more legit if it's made out to you or a company or a business. You know what I mean? I don't tend to have too many problems having somebody write it out to me. But you want to look more legit. You know what I mean? It makes you look more official that, you actually have, they can write it out, because some people are going to say, well, I want to write it out to 3X ROI Pro. I don't care. But you don't miss a beat. So the conversation keeps going. That vibration doesn't go and it's like, boop, boop. Wait a minute, what happened? What happened? So now you done messed the whole thing up, You might get somebody that's scared of that. They're thinking, I'm not writing you a check for $3,000. I won't see you anymore. You're going to hop in your vet and be down the road. I mean, you go around in your Corvette, get $3,000 for people all day. So, so that's something that you guys really need to think about and really need to do. I mean, if you're serious about this and you're all in, then you're going to be all in. You know what I mean? There's no half being pregnant. There's no half entrepreneurs, stuff like that. So I'm here to push you guys, motivate you, push you, and try to get you to do maybe what you didn't feel that you could do before, or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? We're all going to work together. Organization. Yeah. Did you have something to say?
No, I was just going to ask a question because we were talking about pricing and all that stuff. Does anybody else have an issue with pricing things out? Because
I'm going to cover all that. So it's a good question. Yes, I think a lot of people have problems with pricing. I think that's a big topic. And that ties in, of course, us getting you guys to, being able to close, be, like hot negotiators and being able to come back and being calm, cool, collected in that space. Your pricing is going to play a big role in that psychologically, how you pitch, how you close, and your general area. So we are going to cover that, David. That's a big question, I think.
My biggest thing, I don't know about anybody else or how you guys want to do this, but my biggest thing is that I made a commitment to this. I want to provide as much value as I possibly can. I want to jam pack it, and I want results. I want to be obsessed with results. If I'm going to be doing this, I want to be, it's not about being the best. I mean, the whole Dan Henry bullshit. I mean, excuse my language. I hope you guys know. I'm just a straightforward guy. But the whole thing is that, like, I went into this and, like, I know that I can get certain results for certain things, but, like, I'm not the best at Facebook ads. You asked us, like, to do that whole down the list. And, so what I did is, I went down and I scaled myself from 1 through 10 on everything I could think about. Right. So, I really want to improve and I really want to get good results for these people. So that way later on, let's say, I do a website for $500, but I nail it and I knock it out of the park, and I'm charging the guy like $25 a month to keep it up. So that way, at least I'm keeping the lights on, right. for the website.
Yeah.
But the next guy, I'm going to be charging like $750, right. Cause I want to make sure that like I'm scaling up appropriately, but I knocked that one out of the park. Well, then I know that, who I can get, for those, and then charging between $1,000 to $3,000, understanding that medium. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Does anybody else feel the same way, or?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I think we should go
it definitely does. What's that, Shane?
I was saying, I feel like we should go in for the kill and just try.
I was going to say, hey, Chiquita, can you mute when you're vaping? Because it's a.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, no problem.
That'd be cool. Cheers for that.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, David, that's good. That's on my list right here as far as things to get into. I think that's a big thing.
Sorry, I jumped the gun. My bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. Look, this is us. I'm just, doing this for you guys. I'm not one of these Dan Henrys. I've told you guys this a million times, but I'm real. I think I'm more real than a lot of those guys. A lot of it that they put on there is a bunch of crap anyways, so. I mean, some of it, but you're talking about like 1%. Now, doing what we're doing, trying to accomplish the goals that we're doing, I think everybody here is 1,000% perfectly capable of accomplishing these. Now, getting to $100,000 a month in a business and stuff like that, that's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother deal. I'm not here to show people how to do that. That's, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing. So yeah, but that's a good one. Pricing is going to be a big deal. The next thing after my foundation, okay, I kind of touched base on this a little bit. Organization. Okay, so being organized. We talked about that earlier. Organization. So in other words, having your PandaDoc, your Proposify, your QuickBooks, your does everybody here know what the Trello boards are? I mean, you've heard of them, right?
Yeah, I've heard of those, and I was really interested in just, because there's, just like you're saying with the foundation, having a good process, like a good client onboarding process, okay, we're keeping all the files in a Google Drive or whatever. So I think that's important. I've seen good Trello boards, so that's awesome.
Okay. So you guys know all about those and stuff like that then. Okay, cool. Okay, and I mean the good old-fashioned pen and paper and the whiteboards, you know what I mean? The Trello boards, your QuickBooks, your emails, Google Docs, kind of go through, and that would be another thing that I would do as part of your foundational infrastructure is go through and make you a little list. It's a little short little list, like we did with the foundation. You've got a handful of things that you got to do, and then with your organization, put all those things down. Well, let me look at the Trello boards. Let me look at the QuickBooks. Let me look at, PandaDocs and get a pen and paper, or maybe, get me a whiteboard or whatever's good for you. You know what I mean? Use calendars. I mean, calendars are huge. I like the Trello boards myself. I went and got the gold Trello boards, and it gives you these things called power-ups. And, there's all kinds of neat – these are just like plugins, kind of stuff like that. And it has a calendar on there. So, and that calendar will sync up on my phone. I got the Trello app on my phone and the computer. So this way, whether I'm on a computer or I'm on my phone, out in the field and something happens, boom, I hit my microphone on my phone and just speak what I have to do. It goes to my Trello board for wherever I got, and I have several different ones built out. So, if you guys want to go through some of those, at a later point in time, I don't think we need that right this second. I think pricing and stuff like that, we're probably going to get into next. But if you guys want me to do some videos or something like that, or we could do it in here, or I could do it in a group, just post it in there for all these little things. Post it in a group if you guys would, like all this little stuff that we just talked about between the foundation and the organization of our foundation. So any of that stuff, just post in there. Say, hey, George, can you do something like on this or this, like on the Trello boards or whatever you want? And then I'll do videos, and then I can post them up on there, and then everybody can watch them. You know what I mean? So kind of helps everybody. Okay, and then the next one is going to be Okay, like your strengths, what we were talking about yesterday, as far as, you guys writing down your strengths and stuff like that, what you're strong at, what you're not strong at. Now, that's going to kind of tie in with kind of the pricing and what you guys are going to do, because that's going to play a big role in what you can charge and how you're going to charge and how you're going to structure these deals. Because some of the stuff, like, I don't necessarily do all of this. I have other people around me because I've made a lot of relationships, and I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Start at least building these relationships and knowing these people that you're dealing with. And not everybody out there is, like bad. There's a lot of crap that goes on in our world, but our world is very small on the big grand scheme of things. When you look at the macro of everything, it's very small. You know what I mean? Most people have no clue what we're talking about, what we're doing at night, like all this stuff. They don't know what a funnel is and an opt-in and an upsell and downsells. And I mean, they have no idea what all that stuff is. Yeah, funnel hacker. There you go. They don't know who, Russell Brunson said it best. He goes, I'm internet famous. And I use that all the time. I tell my wife, I'm like, people know me. She's like, you're so stupid. She picks on me. It's cute though. So yeah, your strengths. So you really need to know those. With being an entrepreneur, you need to know your lane. You need to know where you're supposed to be at. You don't have to be the jack of all trades, because when you're a jack of all the trades, you're a master of none. And that's not what you want to be. So just really, really, in the next couple of days or whatever, kind of focus on that and really give that more and more thought. I don't want to go through it right now because I want you guys to write them down, but I want you to look at those through the rest of the week and tweak them out, because certain things will come to you tomorrow and the next day, after this, meetings and stuff like that, you'll come up with other ideas and stuff that you saw. So just kind of take that, start thinking about that, and then start thinking about and narrowing down what services that you guys want to offer. And then we're going to go over all that. You know what I mean? So once you guys kind of sit down and do that, and then I'm going to show you guys a list of things that I'm probably going to do some boards tomorrow. And I should be able to share my screen on this thing, right? And you guys, yeah, I can share my screen. I can share it with all you guys where y'all can see it, right?
Yeah.
So I'll try to do some boards and then go over the pricing and stuff like that, what I do. But in the meantime, I still want you guys to kind of put down your ideas, because I'm curious and want to see what you've seen, what you've heard, because we're not all in the same groups, obviously. So I'm just curious. So just jot it down. Nothing real crazy. Just I like to do this. I like to do this. And then, again, like David did, he kind of rated himself and was honest with himself and said, I'm good at this. I'm bad at this. And there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, it is what it is. But you have to know that. That's a big part of us scaling this and building this and getting you guys to where you need to be. We need to know all these things. We've got to answer all these questions.
This is the best. You can't lie to yourself.
No, you can't lie to yourself. My wife's she says that all the time. She goes, you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah, numbers don't lie.
No.
At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie.
Nope, not at all. Okay, we got that. I don't want to really get into the next part I got. I think we're going to save that. We're going to get into some of these sales part, and I know that's why everybody's here, but I mean, I didn't want to I wanted these first couple things to kind of get a feel for you guys, where you're at. We can all kind of get to know each other. I think we're pretty comfortable now. You know what I mean? It's not like we don't know how to socialize. I mean, we're on the things all the time. So, so I really wanted to get into all that. Now I kind of got an idea where you guys are at and where you're kind of trying to go. And I think everybody's kind of in the same spot, which makes it perfect. So, it's kind of like school. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to just, be way over here for somebody. I mean, I think the one person if I was going to guess, and I'm not calling him out, I hope he's cool with this, but I think Clint has quite a bit of experience as far as from his background, what he was saying yesterday with the marketing and everything that he's done. I hear a lot from that right there, which is good. But, Clint, I appreciate you sticking in there, hanging in there with us. I think he's going to do real good. I think all of you are going to do real good. Everybody's got a good attitude. Everybody's got a good mindset. I would highly suggest – what's that, Clint?
No, I was just going to say thanks for that. No, it means a lot. But yeah, it's been a
Absolutely.
hell of a journey, and it's still going, man. Still battling, but I'm going to get there. I'm fully, like you're talking about the mindset before, setting up my morning routines, doing the meditation,
Good.
getting that frequency, do what you have to do. And as everyone alluded to before, it's yo-yos, man. It's a roller coaster. Even the guys that are flying at the top of their game, they crash too.
Yep.
So it's human nature. So we've got to have the tools in place to pull ourselves back up every day, because shit happens.
Yep.
Yeah. But like you said, if you focus on negative, you get negative. So if you can turn that around, focus on the positive, you'll get positive.
Bingo.
And
Bingo.
you got to project. You got to project that frequency. You got to become that thing. And you don't get the car to have success. You be the success, feel the feelings of success, see the success before you get the car.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what George's experienced too. I've heard this from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Lambos don't actually attract women; they attract men. So it's up to you, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that's it, mate. That's it.
And a lot of people I know who have got some flash cars and that, they just got the car and they said, "What's the next car I want?" It was pretty empty. They thought it was going to be that fulfillment, but it wasn't. So it's pretty interesting. So really get clear on what you want in life. And so things like time, man, time, family, relationships, don't neglect these things. I have for years because I just didn't feel worthy, man. What's that, mate? What does it say?
Gold diggers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And just, neglecting all these things, social events, not catching up with friends because you don't feel confident, significant. In-laws to impress, they all feeling sorry for you. Like, fuck, when's this guy going to sort of shit out,
Right.
So it's, I think we're all in that boat, but I've got many years. I think David can appreciate that. I'm sure Adam's had the experience. Shane's starting on this journey, but awesome mindset. You're going to fucking kick ass, dude. So
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, definitely. And everything, Clint, you said, I mean, amen. I couldn't have said it better. And it's what I preach all the time, is what I tell anybody that asks me, how did you get to the level where you're at? And, you got such a great life. You're so lucky. It's like, luck had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. It's a lot of hard work. There's been ups and downs. And I tell everybody what an entrepreneur journey looks like. It's like, here's a 9-to-5 job. You go from here, you go to here, and then you go right back home again. Here's an entrepreneur.
Spaghetti.
Yes.
Okay. And you're trying to get over here.
Spaghetti.
And you can't. You're not getting – I mean, it's all over the place. So you got to be prepared for that. But if you do this and you get your mind wrapped around it, that this is about the journey. This isn't about the end of the movie. This isn't about the end of the song. This is about – and once you guys get going, and it's kind of like – okay, it's like being on a cruise. Have any of you guys been on a cruise? Everybody been on a cruise? Or, I mean, you know what a cruise is, right? Okay. Well, Shane hasn't. Okay. So Shane just starting out, guys. But, hey, we're going to get you on some cruises. Maybe we do something like that. Maybe we get you guys where you're doing all this cool stuff, and we'll all obviously have a relationship. I mean, even after all this is, maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw something and invite a bunch of people.
So down. I need a vacation so fucking bad.
Then that's what we got to do. We got to get some vacations going. So then, maybe we hit some of these goals and we get you guys some traction, and you build an actual real business. That's what I want to do. That's what this is all about. This is, I'm going to preach mindset. I'm going to preach this and that. If you just bear with me, there's an end result for all of this, and it works. If you just trust me and understand that this is what I do. And again, I'm not bragging, but I do make a lot of money. I mean, the money is really, really good. And it's purely because I have that mindset that there's nothing I can't go out there and accomplish. And to be honest with you, the money is a byproduct of what I do. It's not my goal. It just comes with it. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not focused on that anymore. And I think that's a big obstacle, and it's an understandable obstacle that people tend to focus on that a little bit too much. And again, it goes to that chasing thing. You're going down this wheel and you keep chasing that. So I want to get you guys in that right mindset and everything. I think we're there. You guys understand everything. Tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think
no, go ahead.
I just want to say, I think you just really nailed it earlier, what you're talking about with the toy store, how it was just like a huge probably weight off their shoulders, how you help them. It's a win-win, right? It's really helping you. It's helping them. And it's just, it's an amazing thing, like you said, to be able to help these local businesses. And, like I said, get paid to do it. And like I said, they truly know your passion. And I mean, you could tell, you know, I mean, that's why I've been following you for so long. You're a genuine dude, and I'm excited, man. So
Appreciate
yeah,
that.
that's yeah, man. So
Good. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, David, did you have something?
No, I just had a quick question. George, you outsource most of your work, though, right?
Some of it.
You have your finger on the pulse of most things, but you're outsourcing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's. I mean, I don't mind putting in the work. Like, I mean, I love being hands on. I'm kind of
ability though.
I'm a control freak, and I know it. So, but I understand that as a manager, you know, and that's what I had to do. I had to let go of things, and you know, be able to. In order to have that scalability, you can't scale if you don't.
You have to delegate. You have to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to delegate, and that's one thing that's one of my talents that I'm very good at. You know, so my wife says, and it's proof. I mean, I am good at delegating. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not one of them pat myself on the back all the time guys, but delegation is a lot to do with it. But that's why I'm such a big proponent and pushing you guys to set up your foundations, guys. Set up your foundation. Okay, get you some business cards off of Vistaprint, you know, for $20 or whatever, and you know your bank account. Get your DBA. None of these really cost a lot. And that's going to set your precedent for, you know, the long term. And I want you guys to have a real business. I don't want it to be something, you know, you go out and sell a website and that's it. That's not what this is about. If I could teach you the skill set that you can go out, and it doesn't matter whether it's a website, if it's a bot, if it's email marketing, it doesn't matter in 5 years if there's no such thing as a funnel, but they got, you know, I don't know, bunk cakes that you're doing marketing on or something. I mean, it doesn't matter. I want to give you guys a skill set that I got. I can go out and literally sell anything. I've done it. I mean, when I was a kid, I told you guys I sold taffy. When I was 18 years old, I worked for a place that sold Kirby vacuum cleaners and went and selling them things. I got 2 weeks of training with this guy selling Kirby vacuum cleaners. These freaking things were $1,500 for a vacuum cleaner. Okay, and these were supposed to be the Rolls Royces. The second week, the first day I went out to sell, this guy would drive us around in a van. There was no cell phones. We had beepers when I was 18 anyway. Same age, so we had beepers. So we would go around. Everybody had a phone in the house. We'd knock on these old ladies' doors because that's the only people that was home during the day were retired folks. I mean, folks like us, we're working. And so you go knock on the door. We go in and, yeah, look at this, Mrs. Johnson, and see all the dirt that's coming up in your stuff. And you showed us a little pad and blah, blah, blah. My first day, and I don't even know how I did it. I just went in and did my thing, did what he told me to do. And the lady liked me. She goes, okay, I'll buy one on. Wait a minute, huh? You got a phone? Where's your phone? I mean, I'm looking around like, no, I need your phone real quick. I had to call my boss. I mean, you know, maybe I didn't know. I was so excited. And then so I'm sitting there waiting for this guy to come back over there in the van. And we were all trainees. It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of us in the van or something like that. He'd drop us off in the neighborhood. And I don't know what this guy went and did. He had a Rolex and everything else on. And, you know, he was teaching us to go out there and sell these things. So, you know, and then by the time my boss had got there, I had talked to this lady. Her son had moved away years ago to like California and left a 280ZX on the side of the house that was a European version, left-hand drive. And left-hand drive, but steering wheel was on the right-hand side, so whatever that is. And I negotiated to get a commission, and she gave me that car. I drove that car.
No way.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And the boss came there, and when he came in, I had everything. I had already negotiated everything. I didn't know nothing. And he came in there, he goes, okay, and he was all ready to do his thing. And she was like, okay, well, here's my credit card. And she had her credit card out. And he goes, well, we need a check. Okay, well, I can write you a check. And she goes, well, is it $15.99? And he looked at me and was like, yes, ma'am. I mean, he was like, yeah, that's good. $15.99. She wrote the whole thing out and was like, and then I got to go get the title. And he was like, title for what? I'm like, that gold, it was like an ugly gold. But I said, that gold 280Z? She said, I can have that. He was like, huh? She said, I can have that. But I want my commission too. It was like, you agreed a little something. It's just like,
Wow.
that don't have nothing to do with you, Mr. Boss Man. I did that. That's my car. And she went in there, she gave me, Here you go. I hope you enjoy it. She goes, I think it'll still crank. She gave me the keys and went out there. I had no idea how to drive this car. It was on the wrong. I'm like, that's on the wrong. I don't know what that is. I knew how to drive a stick, so I went in, got it, went home. So still made my commission. So yeah, that's where I started doing sales. And after that, I was just good at it. So yeah. So quick little story. Not too many people know. So all right. So I mean, we've been on here for a while. I don't want to keep you guys on here all night. We can do some more. When do you guys? Tomorrow, I'm kind of I want to get a bunch of stuff done for us, and then some other things that I got to do, for my agency. So I really want to, I got to get in my Trello boards. I don't know if you guys, did y'all see the website that I started playing around with, the 3X? It had the little fancy things.
Mhm.
Aaron, he texted me. He was like, oh, my God, that was awesome. Or he PM'd me, so he
that
put
was
it all
sweet.
over. It was pretty cool. I like that. So, yeah, the Instant Tanto was neat. So I'm still playing with it, learning all kinds of stuff. So that was pretty cool. So I'm thinking maybe we get back together on Thursday. And, I know a lot of these guys that do it, once a week or something like that. I don't know about you guys, but I like to do it maybe a little bit more than that if you guys are good with that.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody cool with that? Okay.
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
good.
One thing, I think we should add this to the group just so we make sure that we're really holding each other accountable. I think,
Yeah, I am.
like we should add different homework assignments, and then we all got to get it done, or at least do our best. I mean, everyone has different situations, but I feel like we got to start taking the steps to actually building up some revenue. And I know we're taking it slow, but
Well, guess what?
What?
Since you came up with the idea, we're going to put you in charge of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you post in the producers, post our homework if you want to, if you would. I'm just picking on you right now, but
All right.
if
Okay.
you would, that'll help me out a lot too, being able to help you guys. And I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I mean, I literally do have a million things going on, and I know I'm not going to get them all done in one day. But if you could do that, Shane, that would be great. I mean, anything you do to kind of help and help everybody else out. I know everybody else will appreciate that, but that would be awesome, And then I'll post this in there too, so everybody can kind of watch that.
Awesome.
I'd
Yeah, so-
also request too, how to make an appointment, getting that first step, how Shane, you want to make that a checklist, but how do you get that first step? How do I get in the door, walk in there, shaking people's hands? What do I say? What do I do? Type of.
I got
thing.
you. That's
Okay.
going to be. We're going to go over now. Once I want you guys to do all this, and obviously, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You know what I mean? I can tell you guys all this stuff. So look, make sure your foundation, your organization, go through all this stuff. Tomorrow, go through it all. We'll take the day off. I'll still be in the group. I mean, that's not changed. So if you guys want to get in there, Quita, ask questions, put it in there. I'll do some videos. So we'll do it like that. And then I'm thinking Thursday, let's get back together Thursday, maybe same time. I'm thinking, does this work okay for everybody?
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Works for me.
Okay.
Works for me.
Make sure to check for the homework because I'm going to post it tonight.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome,
No,
man.
that's
Thanks, Shane.
awesome.
Sounds
Shane.
good, man. Yes. Thanks,
That's
Shane.
awesome. Okay, good. And then I'm thinking on Thursday, I'm going to come up with some more stuff. You guys work on your foundation and your organization of your business. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Do some searches online for the different little things. You know what I mean? If you're not ready to, not everybody's got, a huge budget, and that's fine. That don't have anything to do with it. Start being resourceful. Start using your resources. Buy free stuff. I don't care if it's a free invoicing thing. You can't get QuickBooks, fine. Be resourceful, right? I mean, be resilient. You have to learn how to do that. So being an entrepreneur, it's all about adapting and overcoming. I mean, not, you're going to get all kinds of stuff that's going to come up. It's going to pop up. It's going to get in your way. You got to bulldoze right through it. You know what I mean? Get over these speed bumps and stuff. But yeah, so what I'll do is you guys work on all that. I'll go and I'm going to start working on some boards and stuff and we'll start getting into the nitty gritty. If you want to learn how to build a website, you want to learn how to build a bot, you want to learn how to do all that stuff, go over to Aaron. You know what I mean? He knows that software like the back of his hand. I mean, I love that dude to death. So I learned stuff from him. That's why I go in there and ask him all those stuff. I'm pretty technical. It's just a matter of knowing where those settings and all that stuff is at. He knows it. He's your man for that. So yeah, anything for that, Instant Tanto. We're going to start on Thursday. We've already had a couple good days. Today was a good day, so I think we got a lot good stuff accomplished. Been on here for quite a while. I appreciate you guys sticking around and listening. Thanks. It's cool. But yeah, we're gonna start getting into the sales stuff on Thursday. So I'll start gearing that up, and then we're gonna figure out how to get, how to get your first deal. How do you get in that door? I want to get everybody to get a taste. I want you to get out there. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a bot, you sell it for $300. I don't care if it's a website, you sell for $500. A funnel, you sell for $500. We're going to go over all these things. David, Adam, everybody that asked, I'm going to go over the pricing structures. So that's a big, big part of that, obviously. I know a lot of people are confused or just don't know, because this is it's more arbitrary, and you could charge, I could charge anything I want. Why? Because it's how I value my time. And then we'll cover that, you know what I mean, on how you guys would value your time. I don't want anybody undervaluing it, and you also don't want to kick yourself in the butt, by going in there and thinking, "Oh, my stuff don't stink. I'm good. I'm George. I'm internet famous. Check my record." So you don't want to do that, but you don't want to undervalue yourself neither. So it's kind of that fine line, and I can show you guys. Don't worry about it. It's not that complicated to figure out. I'll show you a few things that I do to make it easy. To where it's this way when I go in with these guys. I'm telling you guys, literally, most of the time when I go in, if I set all these relationships up, the discovery, maybe the second meeting or the third meeting, when I set all these up in these relationships the way I do it, and I'm telling you, most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, I don't have to ask for a check. These people are just, it comes out of their mouth first. And when you do that, it makes your job so much easier, so much nicer. You feel so much better about yourself because they're almost validating that you're worth this much to me, George, Adam, Shane, Quita, everybody. You're worth this much to me. That, how much do you need? How much? Okay, write them a check. Let's get them a check. Boom. Here you go. Now, we appreciate this. We appreciate you helping us out because we're lost. We don't know anything about this. Like Aaron preaches, I preach all the time. These people don't know that. You're that conduit. So let's be that conduit. Let's put your mind in. I'm going to help you get from here to here. And I'm going to put my heart and soul in that. And I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you and I'm going to do this and build this. And whether you're showing them, and that's another thing. I've got a couple different ways to sell the things. And one of them is kind of unorthodox, and I haven't talked about this. I'll talk about that with you guys on Thursday, okay? I'm going to leave it at a soap opera, so there's your cliffhanger. I've got a trick up my sleeve.
Open loop.
That
works
very well, and here's the other cherry on top of that. This works well, and it also would get you that client like I got today, where it's the whole package. And that's where I want to get you guys to. It's cool to sell one website for $500 or $800, $1,000. But wouldn't it be much better if you guys could go in and sell a $3,000 or $4,000 package?
Oh, 100% all day long.
100%.
There you go. That's another yes question. You know what I mean? I can get everybody to go exactly where you want them to get, and I'm going to get you guys there too. Whereas you're going to walk in, you're going to be in these meetings and these deals, and they're just they're going to walk along, and they don't know they're doing this. They're just going along, and there's a method to the madness, and there's, like I said, I'm 45. I've been doing this since I was a kid pretty much. So there is a method, and it's not unethical. It's not immoral. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not trying to pull wool over somebody, and that's the misconception I think a lot of people, talk about with salespeople. It's like, oh, yeah, it's salesman. Nope. I tell people one of the things that I use is, I'll go ahead and say this, and then I'm going to shut up. But I tell them, look, I'm not some big salesman. The whole time I'm selling. I'm not this sales guy that you see in the car lots and this and that, Mr. Jones. No, that's not me. Look, I want to do this, this, and this for you, and this is how we do it, da-da-da. I've already planted a seed in his mind that, well, wait a minute. So in his mind the whole time he's thinking, well, no, it's George. He just said he's not a salesman. No. I don't care about none of that. You don't focus on that. So you're not focused on the money. So, but anyways, I'm going to let you guys go because I can go off on the sales thing. That's why I get all excited about it. So that would be another 3-hour trip. We'll never get to sleep. So I'm going to say that till Thursday. I'll get in with you guys, and then I'll show you what I do. And then And then this other thing for these higher ticket things. I'll show you how I set up higher ticket projects and deals with these people. And honestly, that's what I'm focused on. Right now I am at that level. I've learned enough and I know enough to be able to go after those deals. Aaron's, the same thing. He goes after those big things too. So it's, he's definitely got a lot to learn from him too. So by all means, listen to everything that man says too. You know what I mean? I'm good at the sales part and everything, and so is he. So I'm not taking anything away from him. You know what I mean? He's great. I love working with Aaron. I believe 1,000% in Instant Tonto. Everything I'm doing, so you guys know, is in Instant Tonto. The only thing that's outside of it is like the proposal thing. And if he sees this or we even mentioned something about proposals, that man's going to run off and figure out how to do a plug-in for a daggone proposal, which I ain't going to stop him. I'm like, cool, put it in there. He calls me up, protects. I'm like, I buy it. Yep, I want that too. CRM comes out. Yep, give me one of them accounts. Social came out. Yep, give me that account. ClickFunnels. Yep, give me that account. I don't care what it is. I want them all.
No,
these are just products. These are tools and products that we have in our tool chest that we're going to be able to get out there and make a ton of money with this stuff. And that's what we're going to get. So I'm going to leave it at that. You guys have been great. Elvis is going to leave the building. And so y'all keep posting. Keep posting in the group. Put questions up there. I need you guys to put questions in there. And this way I'll come up with some more videos, some more content. So I need to know more. I know we can't get to everything in these, hour and a half meetings, whatever. So post them up in there. This way I can do some more videos, for the group, for this and that, and then in here. And then I can kind of keep everybody on track during the week that we aren't together. You can ask me something. I could do a video or something like that and kind of get you on the right direction more instantly. Because it's not like you're like, man, we ain't going to have our meeting until tomorrow night or the next night. And you're like, man, I really want to do this. Use the group. I mean, that's what we all use it for anyways. It doesn't have to be here. So post it up in the group. All right, guys.
Would you be cool if I shared my journey? Because starting from zero, because I'm scrapping my 2 clients that I have.
Okay.
I'm literally only making $700 a month.
Okay.
And, it's 2 nonprofits. Would you be cool with that if I shared videos?
Absolutely.
And stuff like that?
I want you guys to get in there, be active, share. Absolutely. Whatever your experiences, your journeys, absolutely. Let's put it in there. A real quick note, you guys don't know, but my other company, by the end of this month, I'm probably going to have that sold, my security company. I'm going to be all in on this. I'm doing very well with all this stuff. The other company, I'll make, money on it, obviously, by selling it. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And just so you know, by the end of this month, I'll be in here like all the time. So in the group, online, building my agency out, trying to help people, and I'll have a lot more time. I won't be drug away right now. I'm kind of split in two, between both of them. And it's weighed on my mind, and I've actually had to talk to my wife, and I've made that decision. I've already got buyers in place. I've got people that are working for me before. I've got them set up a pretty daggone good severance plan and stuff like that. So I've made everybody happy. And the main thing is I want to be happy with what I'm doing. To be honest with you, my other brick and mortar, I've been doing it for a long time. There's great money. I know most people will be like, are you nuts? Yeah, well, you're not in my position. You know what I mean? So just when things start being not fun anymore, there's no sense in doing it. I don't want to go through my life and it's just not fun. It's not grueling. It's not awful. So I'm not saying that. It's not fun for me anymore. I have options. You have options. We all have options. You don't have to keep doing something that you hate. You got a job, you hate it, do something about it. I mean, nothing's going to change until you hate it enough that you'll do something about it. That's it. You got to hate it enough. And I think, most of you guys are to that point or whatever in your life. That's why you're searching and trying to build something like this. So, yeah. All right, guys. Look, you guys are great. I'm going to get off here. I keep talking all night, so I'm not going to do that. Now my wife will be smacking me in the head. She goes, shut up. We just got to sleep.
All right.
Cheers, man.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you Thursday. I'll post up in there Thursday night, 8 o'clock. I'll post in the group, and then I'll post in the Zoom or the private message or whatever messenger. And then if you guys need anything, post in the group, private message me, whatever you need. I'll try to answer your questions and try to get to it as soon as possible. So, all right, set your foundation.
Thank you, man.
I'll see you guys.
Good night, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.